Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to this episode of Rock Talk with Rick, hanging out in the new King of the Attic studio with Strange Love. Strange Love. Now, how did you guys get this name?
Well,
First of all, give me your names.
So I'm Alex. I play drums in the band.
Alex, how you doing, brother?
Josh. I'm
Josh.
bass and vocals.
Okay, now, how'd you come up with Strange Love?
Well, it's
Is this going to be like a sexual story?
No. We had gone through so many names in the past. We started as Amnesia, and we tried to look up how many bands were named that, and we found like hundreds of thousands of bands named that. So we're like, okay, gotta find a new name. And then for a bit we were River Euphrates.
Yeah.
And then that one didn't really stick either. And then one day we were just like, oh, well, like Strangelove, like Dr. Strangelove or something like that. And then that one just kind of stuck. So
Yeah, we like it. We've been having fun with it all.
very true.
So tell us about the band. How many guys in the band?
So there's three of us, and
3 men.
So I first met Josh when we were in grade school. I think we were like, I don't know, 11 or 12, something like that.
You guys don't look anywhere past 15, 16 now.
And so we met way back then. Sort of, we're into music, but I wasn't, a huge musician back then. But then we got to high school, and then I met our guitar player Anthony in high school. Started taking drum lessons from this guy's older brother. Got more serious about music.
He was a drummer.
My whole family's been into music since I was born.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when we were in high school, I just introduced them, and we found that we, liked experimenting and writing, and so we started writing songs probably like 11, 12 years ago, or some of the first songs that we were writing, yeah.
And this is all original stuff you guys have.
Yeah.
Right?
All original, yeah.
When I was talking to you, you told me that you guys have put out an album. How many songs did you say it was again?
It's 13 on there.
13.
Yeah.
Ooh, lucky 13.
Yeah.
And this is not a physical album. This is like Spotify and obviously it has social media,
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
Now, any gigs in the works?
So right now, as you can see, our guitar player isn't here. It's because he's
Where's the guitar player?
He's actually getting ready to move to Europe. So he does that in like 3 or 4 weeks, I want to say. Yep. So we actually don't have any gigs. We had our last gig a couple months ago, I want to say, at the Warehouse in St. Catharines.
Great place.
So
good venue.
Love the sound guy there is awesome. The venue, the owners there are awesome.
Every time we play there.
So you're looking for a new guitar player.
So we're probably going to be starting a new project, but we will be recording still and releasing things just remotely. Like he'll be recording some stuff, sending it to us, and then we'll produce it and record our parts to it, and so we'll still be releasing things.
So you guys are on a little hiatus for the next little while.
A little bit.
In terms of performing.
Performing live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll release a single next month, I want to say.
Yeah.
Another single.
Yeah, probably by the end of next
Is that what you're doing, releasing singles every so often?
And then hopefully another album.
Keep the boat moving?
Yep.
To tide us over while we record the album, and then hopefully maybe this time next year we'll have most of that next album ready. So.
Why 3 men?
Well, that's going back to, because it actually started with the three of us plus another friend of ours, and then we kind of just realized like our little trio was kind of the writing trio, and we kind of took that in that our own direction.
It's a lot easier too, huh?
Yeah, it is
was
easier for practices.
It turned out to be a good dynamic, and just kind of went.
It's easier to get 3 people to practice than 5 or
exactly
6. Trust me, I've had some bands on here, 5 or 6 people, not for 2 or 3 bands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
Like, as you guys get going down the road and stuff like that, it's obviously you got all the social media thing going, right? You got Facebook, you got all of that stuff going, right?
Yep.
And that's where people could find you if they need to find you?
Yeah, so at Strange Love of Music is our handle on YouTube and on Facebook. And then if you go to either our Facebook page or our YouTube homepage, you can basically find all our other links to our Apple Music page, our Spotify, I think SoundCloud as well. So basically anywhere that you can find music.
Now, where did you guys record this album?
In our home studio.
Okay.
So we
That's cool.
we kind of have like our own home makeshift studio that it started off just kind of like a 6 input interface and a couple mics, and started recording our amps and my drum set. But
Piece by piece, yeah.
we've since graduated to a 16 track hybrid analog board that we're trying to figure out how to use and
Yeah.
starting to track
Little by little. Little by little, learning the Pro
Analog,
Tools.
perfect.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's- So far, tracking the drums with that has been a dream.
It's
It
made a difference.
Sounds
Yeah.
so
Talk to
much.
Chris, he knows all about the old school
Yeah.
analog stuff,
It's
yes.
definitely going to add a different way of how we do our recordings from now on.
It takes
for sure.
time, right?
Oh yeah,
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's the
and-
thing is like we
and
learned
some
so
money.
much. Yeah. Like we spent the money and we learned basically all the equipment that we bought, how to use it ourselves. Like so we kind of feel like we're in one of the more purest senses, like an independent band. We learned how to engineer. We learned how to mix and master. So I feel like our sound can only get better as we go on.
Yeah.
Our first album, I feel it's good for a first DIY album, if you want to call it that, but
Great.
it'll
Yeah.
only get better from there, right? So,
And you guys are hailing out of where now, you told me?
St. Catharines, I would say is
Well, then-
our where our studio is. So
and then now we're both living in Kitchener, Cambridge area.
Because you
So
guys said you're working there.
we were
Yeah.
working
Right.
there, yeah.
Hey, there's lots of good musicians up there.
yeah, we're hopefully
You
gonna
know,
try and break into
We've
that
got
scene
some
too.
people from up that way.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
show and stuff like that.
It's actually
Lots of good clubs.
Yeah.
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 It's actually a friend of ours actually also lives up there. He was in the band for a brief period of time, and we're getting back with him and jamming out some old stuff as well. So
It's crazy.
So-
What do you think of this place?
Yeah.
This
Can't
is a
complain.
cool
It's
place.
a nice little setup and lots of equipment, lots of
Lots of hot lights, eh?
yeah.
Lots of hot lights.
Not too bad
I'm
yet.
surprised you guys aren't sweating because I was like, "Oh, the dog here, man. Holy smoke.
No, it looks good. Feels good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, man.
cool in here,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like
Everybody that
to. I'd like
comes
to
in-
play here. You got a nice setup.
Oh, well, you got to talk to Chris about
Sweet sound
that, yeah.
system. Yeah, we'll have to do it.
It's most people that come in and check the place out, the first thing they do is when they come to the building, they go, "Uh-oh, what the hell's going on here, right? Oh, I'm gonna look for my gun or my knife." Right?
Yeah.
But then when they walk in, they understand, they kind of see what's happening. And
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, anything else you guys want to talk about while I got you on the show?
Well, I guess maybe just like some of our influences, kind of like our
Yeah, go
background,
ahead,
like because I feel like each individually, like we have our own influences that overlap with each other, but then we kind of also have our own distinct styles and things like that. Like
and that's kind of what shaped the first album as well.
Yeah.
was a lot of each of us took a little bit of a stab at writing in our own way.
And who were you listening to when you were?
Well, from our guitarist standpoint, a lot of the Smiths.
Oh, really?
yeah. He loves the Smiths, Chili Peppers, Jamiroquai.
Yeah, there's a lot of that like heavy guitar work and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I myself was probably listening to a lot of country at the time, to
Oh.
be honest. But Fred Eagle Smith's
Okay, yeah.
also a local guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But a ton of Neil Young, myself.
Yeah, I'm mostly into like jazz fusion and prog rock. Those are my two main genres.
So I got to see how you guys work all this in together. It must have taken a while to do that.
Yeah, you know what?
Try to
Like,
figure it out.
we just kind of will have something that has a certain style or a certain sound and write to it, and then but not let that deter what we do with whatever comes on our plate next. Like
But it did take a bit of getting used to how we were kind of wrote and recorded all those, because before we actually tried to lay down the entire album, it took us a bit to get into recording some of these songs, because before they were just songs that we had that we didn't actually know how we were going to form them. And then when we finally got down to recording them, it was kind of like layering them and building them and creating the songs
It's all
we
a learning
wanted
process,
to do.
dude.
yeah, yeah.
And
Right.
then, just layering it with a bit of each of our influences on top. And
Takes time and
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting how like we wrote songs to play live or whatever, but then when you bring it into the studio, you kind of want to do more with
They
it, right?
choose
And you
something
don't know where
different,
it's gonna
yeah.
go exactly, right? So you experiment, you kind of layer some things and try different things, and then you know, if you surprise yourself by the end of it, then
That's
you've done a
exactly
good
it.
job,
man.
right?
And that's music, people.
Yeah.
Anybody you guys want to shout out to tonight?
Oh,
Thank
man.
you to somebody, anybody.
I'd like to shout out to my girlfriend, Carolina. She's our band photographer.
Oh, cool.
So if you've seen any picture of us online or on YouTube or on Facebook, she, you know, 99% of the time took that photo.
Cool.
Also, my parents, I guess, just
Yeah.
for, you know, when we were growing
Hi,
up.
Mom. Hi, Dad. They're all right.
Being the drummer, like, we were the practice space growing up, right? So my parents endured a lot of loud noises.
They had to put up with that
that's
shit.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah. So always encouraged me, and you know, really,
Cool.
we're there for
Good
us. So,
parents.
yeah.
Keep the kid in music.
That's it. That was my parents too. So shout out to them as well for
There
giving
you
us
go.
that background in music when we were ever so young. But you know, shapes us what we are today as musicians. So.
Yeah.
But also like to thank my girlfriend for always supporting me in that sense as well. She's always been there every single gig.
That's good when
And
you gotta have some support, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
If
for
you
sure.
don't have it, it just becomes a pain in the ass.
Yeah. No,
Right.
and it makes it worth it, right? Because it feels like you're not
Well,
just
you
doing
gotta
it for
hope
yourself.
it
Yeah,
makes
that's
it
true.
worth it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it's time to get rid of it and move on. Anyway, man, I want to thank you guys. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much, Rick.
You'll see the show down the road. Everybody, stay tuned. Got some more stuff coming up tonight. Anyway, say goodnight, guys. Say goodnight.
Good
Hey,
Rock and
good
Have a
night.
good one.
Thank you.